How selfish is that? You are here to please me. So why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Why aren't you acting the way I want you to act? Why aren't you looking the way I want you to look? Why aren't you feeling the way I want you to feel? Why? Why do you make things so difficult? Because if you just pleased me, everything would be great. We'd have an amazing relationship. Everything would be absolutely amazing. If you would actually just be kind enough to stop thinking about yourself, to stop needing what you need, to stop asking for what you ask, to stop having the desires that you have, to stop feeling the way you feel, to stop having these boundaries, these emotions. I don't like them. I'm not comfortable with them. These ideas that you have about your life, these things that you want to go do, these things that you need, I don't like it. I don't. It's not serving me. It doesn't make me feel good. It kind of triggers me sometimes, and I just don't understand. I need you to explain to me why you're feeling that way, why you want to do that, why you're not doing what you need to be doing to make me happy. Because you're here to please me. It's not the other way around. Let's get that straight. No, you're here to please me, and I need you to feel bad that you're not pleasing me, that you're not taking care of me, that you're not serving me. Your lack of follow through, your feelings, your way of being, that's just not making me happy. And I need you to get in alignment to what my needs are and what my wants are, because I want to be happy. And you're here. You're here to serve me. How'd that feel? Not so great. Kind of funny. I saw a funny face pop up, a laughing face. It probably didn't feel very good. If somebody was actually to come at you, if we were to have people come at us like that and speak to us like that, most of us would go, fuck you, get away. That's not okay. I'm not here to serve you. I can't make you happy all the time. But there's this sick little program that we have that tells us that we are responsible for somebody else's feelings, that we're responsible for somebody else's decisions, that we have some control over what is going on with them, and that we should be that level of responsible for another person, especially a close relationship, family, or a lover, our children, our parents, our siblings, our besties. That we're supposed to be responsible. In my world as a coach, I often have clients that believe that of me, that I'm there to serve them. I mean, they're paying me after all, right? So I'm supposed to fix it all for them, and I'm supposed to be a perfect person that never has anything that happens in life. And God forbid I have a bad day, because that's just not serving them, to see a bad day, to see my humanness. I feel very blessed to have those clients that appreciate my authenticity, appreciate those things, and go, hey, I love seeing that you're real and how you actually work through your challenges and how you share that. But then I have clients who are very insistent that the reason why their shit is going down, the reason why they're struggling, the reason why they're getting triggered is because I didn't do what they expected of me. Now, I've dated men like this too. I've dated men like this who have this expectation that it is my responsibility to rock their world all the time, to make them happy, to serve them, and that's my needs, my desires. That's not a thing we need to talk about. I should be good with the 3-minute, little post-it stamplet. You're good, right? You're good. Let's go. Let's make me happy. And I hear that from a lot of different relationships. That's a pretty common running theme in the masculine and the feminine world, where it's just expected that a woman should be able to enjoy just as quickly as a man. Now, on the other side, I've heard from men how the woman in the relationship is just all about me, 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 me. You need to take care of me, you need to take care of me, and not giving back any in multiple different ways. Often, though, it always comes down to sex. Between men and women, it's always about sex. A man feels in love when he's having enough sex. A man feels ecstatic when he's having enough sex. A man is on top of the world when he's having enough sex. Not the case for us ladies. Not the case for us at all. Total opposites over here in the feminine world. But that's a whole nother topic. This topic is about you making me happy. Which I don't understand why you're not. And here's the thing. We do this in all areas of our life. We really, really do. But we have this also desire to understand why the other person is not stepping into line the way we want them to, the way we think they should. And we want to understand that, not because we want to understand them, but we want to understand what makes them think that they shouldn't be stepping into line. Why don't they see our pain? Why don't they see our struggle? Why don't they see where we need? Why don't they see that they're rocking our boat, that they're agitating us a little bit? They should see that. I mean, their whole focus, their sole focus in their life should be to run around and think about how and why they're doing the things that they're doing. To me, to you. Crazy, right? If anybody saw my average day, they'd go, oh my God, how do you get done what you actually get done and still keep taking along and still have time for relationships and for travel? Gotta have time for travel and for all that good stuff. How? Some days are tougher than others, but a lot of it comes down to the realization that I don't owe another person on this planet anything, least of all an explanation. And I certainly don't have to feel sorry for the way somebody else is perceiving something or how their expectations are not being met by me, because I'm not responsible for what their expectations are. I'm not responsible for how they're processing or thinking about how I'm living my life, what I'm doing, the choices that I'm making. Now, if I walk up to somebody with a baseball bat and I hit them, I'm responsible for that action and the feeling, the trauma, the damage that I have done to that person. If I walk up to a person and I'm brutally cruel to them and I slam them emotionally and psychologically, if I tell them a whole bunch of really mean, cruel things, I'm now responsible. I'm responsible for inflicting deliberate pain onto somebody. If I'm over here living my life and off with my kids at the zoo, let's say, I'm off with my kids at the zoo and I'm enjoying the day, and said person texts me and I don't see it because I'm not looking at my phone. I'm enjoying the moment with my kids. Not to mention, let's say that this is a Sunday, and anybody in my world pretty much knows that you've got a 99.99999% chance that I'm not working on Sunday, and I'm not going to respond to anything on Sundays, because Sundays really are like my sacred day. They are my day where I do a conscious coffee. I might write an article. If I have something going on, then I'm going to take care of that, obviously. But for the most part, Sundays are all about me and my family. So let's say that this is a Sunday and somebody messages me on this Sunday and I'm out enjoying my family and I don't see the message. Is it my responsibility that to take away from my present moment, to leave the people that I love and care about in this moment, this beautiful moment with these people? Should I just abandon this moment to consistently check my text, consistently check my email, to respond to everything, to make sure that everybody else that's not there with me, that maybe I have a contract, an obligation to in work or in friendship or even in love, that I might have these contracts with in different ways? But is it my duty, my responsibility to take away from this present moment and these people that I'm with? Just spit all over myself right there. These people that I'm with, and lose this moment to make this person who texted me happy, who emailed me happy? You know, we see this a lot in the online world. At least I do. I get a message from some random bloke that messages me and says hi. And I don't look at my messages, and I certainly am not big on responding to people that I'm not in some sort of already conversation with, because I could spend 5 days straight without sleep, without going to the bathroom, without eating, responding to people and being in conversations and making everybody else happy and not taking care of myself, and never ever step away from my computer, because there's that many messages that come in, and it's hi beautiful, hi. Is it my responsibility to take care of those people? Is it my responsibility to make sure that they're feeling okay? Because there is this belief that, obviously it is, there's this belief that, if I pop you a hi on social media, or a hi on text, or a hi on email, that you should have like a 30-second turnaround rate on that. And you should be, hey, I've been sitting here and I've been waiting the last 10 years of my life for you to send me a hi. And I am so excited about you sending me a hi. Oh my God, this is amazing. Let's sit down and talk for the next 3 days straight. Let's just throw out all my responsibilities. I don't need to pay my bills. I don't need to take care of my children. I don't need to take care of my health. I don't need to take care of my clients. I don't need to do anything in my world. I am here, right here, to serve you, because that is what you want. That is what you need. And I am here not for my own life experience, not for my own growth. No. I am here to please you. And of course, if you don't do that, then you get hi. Did I make you mad? You're such a bitch. Can't believe you're not responding to me. I've sent you 5 highs and asked you if I was making you mad. Now you're a bitch because you didn't respond. Don't even know who you are, but this is what I think of you. My perception of you now is that because you didn't step into line. You didn't do what I wanted you to do. I was thinking about weight. I was thinking about how fat I am. Just this morning, while sitting out here, I was drinking some coffee, and I was just like, Kendal, like, you've really not done the exercises that you need to do, and you've not focused on your physical health as much as what you could. You've gotten lost a little along the way over the last year and a half. Since this breakup with your ex, since this physical trauma with your body, you've kind of slacked this much. And you're not doing what you know you need to do. And it's pulling at your heart and soul, and it's draining your energy, and you need to focus on your healthy, strong body because you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling fat. You need to go take care of you. It's time to put your physical care in front of everything else. Even your messaging, even your connection with your tribe, even that, your physical care needs to come in front of that. And then I went, does it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But here's the funny thing. I'm not fat. I'm not. Anybody who's seen pictures of me knows that I'm not what would be deemed obese or fat or anything like that. I need toned up. I need better flexibility because of the injury in my leg. I need better flexibility. I do need self-care. I'm going to feel more vitality, more strength. I'm going to feel better about myself if I take care of myself. But I'm not fat. But I know a couple people that I actually work with that would deem me fat. I also know a couple people that I work with that are like, oh, yeah, I was dating, I went out on a date with a woman that's itty bitty like you. Itty bitty? I'm like, I have no fucking itty bitty. I am not itty bitty, but I'm not fat. But to these individuals, in one perception, I am one thing. In another perception, I am another thing. So whose perception should I go toward, and who should I make happy? Should I make the person who says, oh, you're itty bitty? I dated somebody itty bitty like you. I'm afraid that I would break you if we were together? Or should I lean into the belief of this person over here who's like, no, I like smaller women like this over here, like you're a little bit too much for me. Should I lean into that and that concept that I'm too big, that my bone structure's off, that maybe I have too much stomach, too much butt, maybe my boobs are too small or too big, they're not in the right position? Maybe I should get some brown contacts and some green contacts, more blue contacts. Maybe I should make my eyes all these colors. I once had somebody tell me that they really liked me with brown hair better than with blonde, and that it was very upsetting to them that I had decided to go back to blonde, and that they thought that I should stay brunette because, well, in their opinion, I looked better. My response was not one that they liked. My response was basically an F you, I'm going to do what I want. And whatever hair color makes me feel good, that's the hair color that I'm going to be. Whatever eye color I was born with is probably the eye color that I'm going to have, unless I'm doing a photo shoot that requires a different eye color, and I'm probably not going to go buy colored contacts for that. That's what Photoshop's for. And as far as that weight thing where I'm too fat, I'm itty bitty, guess what? It doesn't matter what either person thinks, because their perception, their idea of what is right, what is good, and what might be good for me, well, that's all on them. It's none of their business. And if they think that it is their business, now they're trying to own, now they're trying to control. And for those of us who go, well, we keep our freedom, we keep our power. For the rest of the world out there who goes, well, but he said I was a little fat, so maybe I'm fat. I'm going to believe that I'm fat, and I'm now going to go on a diet, and I'm not going to eat anything for the next 3 months. I'm going to totally starve myself, and I'm going to exercise consistently because I need to become small. I need to get rid of, well, I don't really have that much weight. The doctor says that I'm actually a healthy weight, but I don't believe the doctor, as these last 2 guys that I dated, they said that I was not their type because I was a bigger girl than what they normally date. So, and they were really nice guys. So I'm going to shrink myself. I'm going to shrink myself. Or maybe the itty bitty person goes, hey, you're too small. I like a girl with some curves, like I need to be able to grab a hold of more. So you're not really my type. So maybe I should what? Go do a whole bunch of squats, get that yoga booty going, gain 10, 15, 20 pounds, become more voluptuous, go get a boob job too, so that I got more for somebody else to grab a hold of, so they're pleased, so that they're happy, to serve them. So let me rearrange my physical body, what makes me feel good. Let me rearrange that to please you. Let me wear the clothes that you want me to wear to please you. Because, it's not like you got to be in it all day. It's not like you might be the one that's getting tugged and pulled and pushed and all this different stuff and rubbed in different areas. No, it has nothing to do with my comfort. It has everything to do with me looking a certain way to please you. Now you might go, you're freaking crazy this morning, Kendall. What is it with you? What is it? Why are you making such a big, I don't do this bull bunk. We all people please to this level in some area of our life. We question our desires, we question our hunger, we question our needs, we question our boundaries, we question the things that we do because somebody else, and most likely somebody that doesn't even have any real meaning in our life on a day-to-day basis, is definitely not going to be there, to change our world completely, is normally that friend that we go, well, I don't really get along with that person that much anyway, but she said, he said. Or maybe it's our parents who we don't live with anymore, but they're really trying their hardest to command to us a way of being that comes from 1952. And they're not in this world of 2020 almost. And yeah, can you guys believe that? A decade is almost up again. But no, our parents, our uncles, our aunts, the people of that generation back there, whatever generation that is for any of us, yeah, they're trying to control because they don't understand this moment. Or we're just so vastly different. It's kind of like a Protestant and a Catholic come together and they meet and they get married and then they wonder why they're arguing about religion so much. Well, if you were just this way, life would be better. No, if you were just this way, everything would be better. You need to change your beliefs. You need to change your way of being, because I would be happier. Therefore, we would be happier if you would just fall into line. If you would just let go of those silly ideas of yours. That's so goofy. That's so silly. Why? Why do you want that? Why do you believe that? Tell me why, so that I can understand why you're being so silly, because I just can't fathom it. You're never, ever going to get somebody else to understand why you want what you want, why your boundaries are what they are, why you are making the choices that you're making. You can give them a taste, but if they are so much on the other side of the spectrum than you, then they are never, ever going to understand. That would be like saying, hey, I want my husband, I want my man to understand what it feels like as a woman to have sex. How? How is that possible? When we have completely different bodies, and sex is such a different experience for both parties, and then emotionally how we understand things, and how we emotionalize things, and how we think about things, and how we feel things physically and emotionally and mentally, the things that we go through. Our hormones are completely different. How is it ever going to be possible, ever, for a man to understand what sex is like for a woman, or for a woman to ever understand what sex is like for a man? It will never, ever happen. We can give little concepts, we can give different ideas, so that there is a little bit of compassion, but never will there be empathy. In certain situations, never will there be a deep understanding. So the more we request for understanding in moments like this, all we're doing is we're asking for the other person to give us little keys for us to slam, for we to go, no, that's not a good idea. No, here's why I'm right and you're wrong. No, here's where you're not making me happy. No, this is where you're going wrong. No, this is where you're going wrong. No, this is where you're going wrong. I need to understand. Tell me more. Give me a little bit more. Not that inquiry's wrong. Inquiry's great. Inquiry's absolutely wonderful. But you got to check yourself on why you're inquiring. Are you inquiring to actually have compassion for where the other person is? Or are you inquiring with a need to know, to satisfy yourself, to justify your own ideas, to make more judgment calls as to why the other person is doing or wanting whatever they might be doing or wanting? Is it about you, your inquiry, or is it truly a desire to know more about the other person? There's a big difference there. The words are all the same, but the intent is what you got to be careful of. It's the intent, because that's where the real magic or poison occurs. I guess I bring this up because I have some different things that are going on in multiple different areas, and I found myself over the last 24 hours wanting to be understood in different things, and at the same time being asked for other people to saying, you know, like, I want to understand why you're saying that, why you're doing that. But then if a share was to happen, I also know that it would just go down into this massive ravine of not knowing, but just more judgments to come out. And then there is this desire that, you know, in other areas where I wanted, just recently, where I wanted to be understood more, so I'd share a little bit, and then I find myself questioning, like, I shared that, I stated this, but obviously this other person did not even hear me. They were so unpresent to my share that they just didn't get it. And then I was talking to a couple clients yesterday, and one person was actually, it was all about this right here, the communication and sharing and understanding, and this feeling of like, the more I learn, the more I grow, the more I expand, the more difficult my relationships become. And I was like, yeah. And you know what that is? Because the person who's learning and growing and doing the internal work, unfortunately for those of us who are all about doing our internal work and expansion work, what happens with us is that we tend to be more present, more aware as to everything that is there. Where once we were blind and we could not see it, now we are wide awake and we're seeing it. We're like, oh my God. And then that presents this problem where we go, now the relationship's more difficult. Now I'm trying to express different things. Now I'm trying to be more vulnerable. Now I'm trying to be more open. Now I'm trying to be more connective. I'm trying to set healthy boundaries. I'm trying to share different things. I can see what is going on when I speak to this person. I can see different things, and then I want to know what is going on. So I'm like, what, am I hearing you right? Am I correct in what I heard here? And in that, the other people who are not doing their work, or maybe they think they are, but they're really not, because there's a lot of that going on, a lot of just lip service to doing your work I see happening. But those other people, and they're like, why are you making such a big deal out of this? Why do you have to be always blah, 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 you know? And it gets flipped on us, and it becomes this challenge, so it makes relationship more difficult is what it appears. But it's not making relationship more difficult. What it is doing is it's just bringing everything that was there forever and always just up on the surface where we can actually see it. And it allows us to go, wow, you are either my people or you're not. And if you're not, I'm now grown enough to realize that I don't need my non-people with me, because I'm strong in who I am, and the more strong I am in myself, the more I get people in my life that are strong in who they are. So I don't need all of this weight on me, slacking me back here, holding me back, and just making it where, you know, and questioning my every move. I don't need the needy. What I need is I need the confident. I need the supporters who support themselves first, who move forward with self-responsibility, being proactive instead of being so judgmental. And no, I'm going to react to that, and I'm going to put all of my stuff on you. I'm giving you my power in my desire to control you. And that's what we do. And yeah, I did say that, and that seems like some oxymoron, right? Like it's like this whole thing where like I just said, well, I'm going to give you my power, but I'm going to control you. How is that possible? Because control is power, right? Well, there's this beautiful little thing that happens, and we do this in our inquiry. We do this in our need to understand, and in our frustration of wanting another person to, you know, hold our level of expectations and meet our judgments. So when we do that, what we're doing is we're like, here, I'm going into victim mode because you did this, boom, you did this, you made me feel this way, you triggered me here, you made this happen, I don't understand, you're not making me happy. So here's all my power, because I'm giving it all to you, because I'm not happy and you're responsible. And at the same time, with that comes this underlying, this little malicious nastiness with it of I'm trying to guilt your butt into changing, into doing what I want you to do. So I'm giving you my power, and at the same time, I'm going to control you. I'm going to take it all back, because I want you to now feel guilty for not doing what I deem you should do. I want you to feel guilty for feeling that way, for acting that way, for having that boundary, for looking that way, for not making me happy. You should feel damn fucking guilty about it, because you are here to serve me. And here's my power. Here you go. But you remember that you did me wrong. You did me wrong. And damn it, I want to see a change. Oh, let me high five you when I do see a change. Oh, good. Yay, you did something a little bit different. Yay, you. Yay. Yay, you did that. But maybe that other person just did that just because, you know, like that was just the moment. Had nothing to do with you. When you're operating with me, anybody who knows me, and here you go, if you ever become a client of mine or follow me enough, you're going to learn some really easy things about me. Number one, I never say sorry unless I'm being sarcastic, trying to teach a lesson, or I really am legitimately sorry, which means I accidentally physically hurt you probably, or actually emotionally hurt you, or feel in some way like, wow. But it's got to be a really big ticket item, because normally if I say I'm sorry, I go, sorry, not sorry. And that's my honest answer, because I'm like, there's really not a whole lot to be sorry for. Actions are actions, and I can apologize for something. I can apologize for not being present. I can apologize for not catching something, for not noticing. But am I really truly sorry at that level of like, oh, I'm so sorry, oh my God, I'm taking on all the responsibility right now for that. I can see that you are just hurting, and that you're gonna be dealing with the issues of this. Like, you're probably gonna sit around and you're gonna think about that for the next 3 weeks, and that's all my fault that you're gonna sit there and think for the next 3 weeks about this discussion, about that statement that I made, about that look that I gave you, and you're just gonna rack your mind for the next 3 weeks about this. And I'm so sorry that that's going on. I didn't mean to do that to you. I don't want you to do that, but I know that you're gonna do that. No. What we think about something, what we feel about something, the way we choose to react to something, no matter what the other person's done, our reaction, our emotion to it, the way we choose to deal with it, guess what? That's us. That's not them. No matter how ridiculous, how painful, how traumatic that other situation is, we still have the responsibility to choose our reaction physically, mentally, and emotionally. We choose our reaction. We choose how long we sit with it. We choose how long we stay with it. We choose how long we hold on to it. That's not the other person's responsibility to try to alleviate it from us, because they can't, because they're not in us. They can't feel that. But we have this concept where we think that they should do that for us, and then we can forgive them, and then we can forget, and then we can go on, and then we can be happy. Once they figure out how to rip this root that they put in us out, then we're going to be good. No. Yeah. Sorry. Not sorry. So, I encourage you today to think about this, to inquire with yourself, to be present in your conversations, to be present when you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling, like your expectations weren't met by somebody. Maybe somebody told you that they were going to do something and they didn't do it, and you don't understand why they didn't do it and why you're not the most important person in their life, and you just have no concept as to why they didn't do that. Because that's a pretty common thing, right? We get told things and we look at it as though, well, now that our expectation is here, so you better meet that expectation. Otherwise, my trust in you, my level of care, all this different stuff, it's just going to come down, and I don't want that to happen. So I need you to meet the expectation that I have in my head here, and that I'm holding for you. I need you to meet that. And then, of course, like every great expectation, the majority of them we get let down on. The majority of them it doesn't get met, and we're like, well, that was just a letdown. Either it completely gets forgotten, or it's just not quite what we thought it was going to be. It just didn't quite line up to, meeting all the details that we wanted. I want you to look at those things. I want you to look at your expectations. I want you to really step into your feelings and your thinking around this. I want you to step into those moments when you are really like, where are you giving your power over to somebody else and blaming them for different things in your life? Like, where are you guilty of saying, yeah, but you didn't do, yeah, but if you did this, yeah, but if you felt that way, yeah, but if you focused more on this, if you gave me more of this, if you, where are you asking the people in your life, in any relationship that might be, where are you asking the people in your life to serve you before their own personal needs, to serve you and make you happy before they make themselves happy? Where are you asking them to serve you and completely disregard their own boundaries, their own feelings, their own time, their own finances, their own energy level, and the other people in their life? Where are you asking them to put all of that stuff on the back burner to make you the most important person in your life? And if that was flipped on you, how would you feel about that? I want you to really ask yourself about that, and I want you to just get real with yourself, and then become present enough, become mature enough in your thinking, in your feeling, to take responsibility for your own fucking self, and realize that nobody on this planet is responsible for your happiness. That's all on you, baby. That is you 150,000%. Not that we can do 150,000% because it's only 100, 100 is 100, right? But in this case, it really is. It is you times 10 you. It is always you, never anybody else. And it is so important that you just realize that you are the keeper of your own happiness. You are the keeper of your own joy. I used to, all my programs were called Orgasmic Life Coaching a couple of years ago. And people would come to me and they would think that was just about sex and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I work with people on sex and relationship, but orgasmic life is not about just the genital orgasm. Orgasmic life is about bliss. It's about feeling really, really good. And our orgasm, whether it is genital or lifestyle, that feeling, it's still all on us. You can't give somebody else an orgasm. That is them opening up to it. You can't make somebody feel free. That is a feeling. It is not something that you can force upon somebody. We are in control of our lives. We are in control if we feel free or if we feel bondage, if we feel happy or if we feel sad, if we're mad or if we feel content. That is all of us. That is just in here. That is what we're thinking, translating to what we're feeling, and then from there, the actions that we choose to take in this world. If somebody comes along and does anything to us, even the physical act of harming us, we still have a responsibility to the choice of how we are going to react. How are we going to react to it? Is there an initial? Of course there is. That initial stuff, it is like instant trigger. You cannot stop that initial. But after that, once the adrenaline has cleared the system and you get your right mind about you again, you are back into choice land. And this right here is where you got to get really real with yourself. Whether it is heartbreak, the loss of a job, somebody just completely made your day, the birth of a child, the loss of somebody else, a physical, a mental, an emotional issue, a challenge, an irritation, a boundary, a trigger. I don't care what it is. How you're feeling about it is what you are feeling about it, and nobody else is responsible for trying to make you feel differently. And as long as you're trying to get your healing from somebody else, you're going to be basically barking up the wrong tree consistently, because your healing will only come from within, and nobody can access your within except for you. So there you go. On that note, know that I do have my one-on-one coaching open again. Of course, I have lots of home study programs available on my website at www.kendalwilliams.com. I believe that there is a link in the comments section for that, but I also do one-on-one coaching, helping people really just access their true power, because guess what? It really is about us becoming powerful, us about becoming, who we really are, tapping into our unapologetic, beautiful divine selves and being strong in who we are, because we tend to want to people please. We tend to take on the responsibility of everybody else's emotions, everybody else's actions, and we carry that weight on us. And in today's world, we have a lot of weight on us. We have a lot of stuff going on where we are just carrying the burdens of so much, and that kind of bondage, it is killing us. It is wiping us out. We have so little energy these days. I look out into the world and I see so many people just drained. It's like their day starts and before they know it, it is over, and they had zero time for themselves because they were so giving of themselves to everything and everybody else that they had nothing left to give to themselves. Well, when we do that consistently, at some point we run out of gas, and that's where our bodies break down. That's where we have mental breakdowns. We end up in anxiety and stress. We start to really not take care of ourselves because we don't have any time to take care of ourselves. So we start eating like shit. We drink more alcohol. We don't hydrate. We don't get out and enjoy nature. We don't slow down. We don't sleep in. We don't go on vacations. We don't enjoy the present moment because we're caught up in all the stuff that we got to do and people that we got to take care of. So we can't just be present with our loved ones or just have 15 minutes alone. No, and instead we find ourselves making excuses and trying to explain ourselves, trying to get everybody else to understand why we're so And you know what? You can do all the explaining you want. And you're never going to change that other person. They're still not going to understand. So stop explaining so much. Make a statement. No, I can't do that. I don't have the time for it. I don't feel like it. And then realize that you owe that other person zero explanation, because that has nothing to do with them. You do not need to justify your answer for anything. Stop the justification. It's not needed. It's not becoming of you. It's not standing in your power. And it's not speaking from your authentic truth. Give yourself enough self-love to understand that you owe nobody on this planet a reason for why you are a yes or a no. And with that, as always, stop existing, start living. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com.